Welcome to the Great Lakes Fishing Podcast. We're still at the Greater Niagara Fishing and Outdoor Show in Niagara Falls. And now we're joined by Captain Casey Prisco. And we're talking something that's kind of out of the box here today, Casey. First of all, thanks for joining the show.
Thanks for having me.
We want to talk Panoptix, Garmin Panoptix. First of all, for people who maybe, I know it's kind of the talk of fishing right now, but for someone who hasn't really seen it, tell me how it works.
Your Garmin Panoptix is going to be a transom mount for our application in the Great Lakes. You can see all three downriggers. It's going to show you positive active fish, negative fish, preference. You can see a fish come in and look at a downrigger and shoot down and hit another downrigger. It's a game changer. To tell you it's made me a better fisherman, absolutely. If you don't have it, you should. I know a lot of guys. I've had it for 5 years now, and it was kind of quiet when I first got it, and I was learning it. Several captains have been on my boat, and I don't think there's one captain that said that he hasn't wanted it or has it now. There's probably 10 or 15 people that I know that have it. Game changer, without a doubt. You learn more by watching that screen than you could ever learn by watching anything else that any other sonar has out there. From calling the shots, from watching your best rig days, never takes a bite. It brings the fish into your spread, and they shoot down and hit another rig. In the past, you'd say, oh, that rod's not going, let's switch it out. Mm-hmm. You switch it out, no, the bite just died. No, you took your best rod out of the water, even though it didn't take a bite. Time and time again, you see it. Size of lures, direction, speed, you see it all, and it's live happening right in front of you. So you have all the tools right in front of you to make it happen. It's just being able to take what you're seeing, gather the right information from it, and execute what they want. And once you get watching it enough, there's nothing like it.
Yeah, it's become really big in ice fishing, and the ice anglers are using it, and they're using it pretty much the same way you described. Why do you think it's taken so long for people who do what you do to kind of see the benefits and the effects?
I think everyone's hesitant at first on new things. No one likes change. A lot of us are set in our ways. I'm one. I'm set in my ways. My hot box, I have thousands and thousands of dollars worth of fishing equipment, and every year I probably use the same 50 attractors and 50 spoons. Mm-hmm. You're just set in your ways. But to evolve and adapt and become better, you better not be set in your ways. And Panoptix it's blowing everyone out of the way. It's unbelievable.
How do you have it set up on your boat?
I have two 7610 units, which is a 10-inch screen in the front of my boat. In the back, I have an 8-inch screen. They're all networked. So I like my clients to be able to see it as it's going on and to see exactly what's happening. So one in the back they can watch. If they're sitting up by me when I'm driving, they can see it. My mate in the back can watch it. I can compare traditional sonar, because I do have a regular sonar transducer on the boat, side-by-side imaging to see what's going on, what's the difference. It's amazing night and day what's really happening, you can see with Panoptix, to what your other transducer's showing you. And you'll learn a lot. You learn a lot. A lot of times you think the fish is following, and oh, he's following me. That fish swam 50 feet off to the side or 60 feet off to the side. He's still in your cone, mm-hmm. but you're still marking him as if because it's straight up and down sonar, traditional. It's mm-hmm. not 2D like Panoptix. It's unbelievable. You'll if you don't like it, I'd be surprised. It's that good. It really is.
What are you seeing when you're watching this?
You can see fish come in from the side that you never see, or I can call it a Dipsy Shot. A lot of times I can see 80 feet out to each side, so I have a 160-foot spread that I'm seeing, and my divers are out there, or my coppers, and I can see, okay, that fish is 60 feet down and he's 80 feet out to the side. So now I know I got to get a Dipsy somewhere 60 feet down. Mm-hmm. So I reel him in or move him just. Next thing you know, that Dipsy's going. You can watch him come up from the bottom, chase down. You can tell inactive fish. We were fishing a tournament a couple of years ago, and we were in 50, 60 feet of water off the Niagara River. Fish were active, they just weren't hitting. We went off deeper, and probably 120 to 160 feet, there was way more fish. I could see that they were inactive just by watching the Panoptix. They would show up, and they would disappear. Just no streak and no active. We went back up on the bar, it was on. It just took time to wait them out. If you would have fished with the traditional sonar and not had Panoptix, you'd have fished at 120 to 160, where most guys did. We ended up taking third place. We lost a couple key fish that possibly could have won it. I'm not saying we would have, but it's possible. But we definitely, without Panoptix, I'd have fished deeper. You can see what's going on immediately.
Hey, how do you interpret that information?
It's pretty simple. You'll watch your downriggers. You'll mark all 3 downriggers, 4 downriggers, whatever you have on your boat. When you're watching, the fish will show up as a red blip. And if he's moving active, he leaves a trail behind, like a purple trail. Mm-hmm. They come right in. If that fish is scared or you spooked him, he did something wrong, you didn't like it, he's going away. You can see it all. Sometimes you'll have a cheater, it's a smaller spoon. You'll watch them come up and take the smaller spoon. Or they're looking at a chrome spin doctor or a pro troll, and next thing you know, they swim down and hit the other side. It's clear as day. It's just watching.
So you're seeing everything, you're learning.
Everything's right there.
What is the learning curve like?
I'd say the hardest thing to do is just get the settings right, and it doesn't take much. With Panoptix, you can control. So I run Power Pro on my downriggers. I have Canons. Sometimes you run cable, some guys. There's more blowback. There's an adjustment in your Panoptix where you can change your transmission angle. So you want to change your transmission angle so that you're marking your downriggers clear. That's the biggest thing. The gain, you can move it up and down. You can put it on auto. They have a lot of great settings that simplify it, make it easy. Once you have that set, the rest of it is just watching. Mm-hmm. It's simple. It really is. It's the biggest game changer I've seen in a long time, and there's a lot of people that say the same, especially since they've been on my boat. It's huge.
And what's the setup like?
It's pretty simple. It's a transom mount deucer. It's got a nice stainless bracket. It's about 4 by 6 inches. You run the cable up to your unit, and then if you want to link them, there's an EMA cord or Ethernet cable. You can link the 2 units together, and that's it. Power up the unit and go. It's simple. It's easy to use. There's not a ton of adjustments like I've seen with other past units. Set it and forget it and learn. And that's the biggest thing. You want to become a better fisherman? Get Panoptix.
Is there any situations where you think that it's not effective or maybe not as effective as standard sonar?
Probably brown trout fishing in the spring when you're in that 5 to 15 feet of water. It's shallow. I don't think any fish finder is really good in that shallow water. A traditional sonar, your cone's so small. Panoptix, I can see some fish. Mm-hmm. To be honest with you, when I'm in there, I care about speed more than anything and temperature. I don't really care what I'm seeing on the screen. It's just too shallow. But move out to 25 to 500 feet of water, don't matter. You're going to mark those fish and see them. Under 200 feet on the Panoptix, you probably don't see them as good as you could. But most guys aren't fishing down there. And the fish you want are above that. But 150 feet down, clear as day. I can mark my downrigger. I can mark a spoon behind my downrigger. I can mark a fixed cheater. I can mix a slider. I can see my attractor behind my ball and see if I have a skippy that I'm dragging. It'll pull off to the side. You can tell everything. And once you have it set, it's huge. It's definitely huge.
What's the difference between that and maybe like a standard side imaging unit?
So the side imaging units I had, it's going to show you more of your bottom, and it's going to show you fish that were there, but it's not showing you what they're doing. Mm-hmm. This Panoptix is showing you exactly what they're doing. So okay, that third rigger needs to come out, they're spooked by it, or I better stretch my leads, or I better bring them in tight, they're coming to the downrigger ball. I better speed up. I better change out that spoon. There's a lot of times I see it in spring, 6, 8, 10 kings come in, they'll go through my spread and not hit anything. Mm-hmm. I'm doing something wrong. They're there to eat. They're not eating, I better switch something up. And you switch it out and you watch, and next thing you know, you got rods going and people are happy. That's what it's about.
What are some of the costs associated with putting one of these on?
There's different units you can go with. The transom mount deucer is anywhere from $1,400 to $1,600. There's specials that they run, rebates and everything. I know it sounds like a lot. We spend a lot more money on lures. You don't need to. Spend it on this Panoptix. The units themselves, they have units from $500 all the way up to $10,000. It really depends what you want. I run 7610 XSVs in the front, 7608 XSV in the back. They work great. I just had an ice fishing unit that I bought. It's a 93 SV. I have the LiveScope with that. It's great too, ice fishing. I won't use anything but Garmin and Panoptix.
Yeah. What are some of the differences between something maybe at a lower end unit compared to something at the higher end then?
If I was going to say a unit that you could get priced cheap enough that would do what you wanted to do with a good screen, they just discontinued 93 SVs. They made a better 93 SV. The old 93 SV is great. 7608s are good. 942 XSV. You just got to make sure they're Panoptix capable. Mm-hmm. Some of them aren't. And then if you want if you want to link them, you got to make sure that they have that capability too. But I say you could get a Panoptix set up for your boat for less than $3,000.
Sure.
All day, and it's the best $3,000 you're going to spend.
Casey, is there something I didn't ask you that you want to get across about Garmin Panoptix?
If you don't have it, get it.
Okay.
That's the truth. You can call me. You can come see it on my boat. I have no problem showing you. I'll send you videos. It's worth it. It was without a doubt worth it.
Yeah, how do people get a hold of you?
You can go right on Facebook, Dirty Goose Sport Fishing. You can contact me, caseyprisco@gmail.com, or my cell is 845-234-5024. I dock in Wilson for the month of May. I'm in the Salmon River in Pulaski, New York for the rest of the year. We fish till November. Mm-hmm. I'm more than willing to show anybody anything about it. My goal is to see people catch fish, whether you charter with me or not. I want to see people catch fish.
Yeah, tell me about your charter.
So I started chartering about 5 years ago. I've been on the lake since I've been 4. My dad used to bring me up, my dad, and my grandfather, and I was hooked forever. So I've been coming up, and I bought my own boat in 2007, started with a 17-foot tracker, and I loved it. I was addicted. I started fishing with Cold Steel and tournament fish with those guys, a bunch of great guys, great fishermen. It must have been 9 years, 10 years. We've won the cup on the lake, I think 6 years now, and I've decided that I wanted to buy my own boat, so I bought my own boat and started chartering in the last 5, and I still do some tournaments, but I have more fun chartering and seeing people catch the fish than I do fishing the tournaments. I'm competitive as all hell, but I still like to see smiles on people's faces, and especially kids. Mm-hmm. You know, I think a lot of kids are missing out on a great sport, a great pastime, and it's great to see when a family brings their kids out to get them involved in it, like my dad did. It's awesome. Right
now, Lake Ontario is red hot. Tell me about the fishing out there.
You can't go anywhere else in the world and have the fishery that we have. There's a little bit for everybody. I mean, you from salmon to lake trout to steelhead to brown trout to pike in the bays to perch in the bays to the smallmouth bass. There's something for everybody in this lake. It's just the walleye. You name it, I don't think you can go anywhere else and have it. And it's a big lake, and you can go anywhere you want and catch them, and it's amazing, amazing fishery. We're lucky to have it.
What's your favorite species to pursue?
Anything that swims. I can't say I have a favorite. I really don't. I think variety is what keeps me going and wants me to continue to do it. And I like to try to catch everything. You know, I'll fish salmon one day. The next day I'm chasing bluegills and crappies. I don't care. The tug's the drug. I want to be out there catching something. And I'm fortunate enough to be able to do it and see people do it with me. It's great. I've met a lot of great friends through the fishing, and I'm very thankful that I love it as much as I do, and the people I've encountered along the way.
If someone books a charter with you, what's their day like? Tell us about kind of the average day of fishing with you.
You're going to sit and watch the rods and probably not catch anything.
Come on.
I'm joking with you. You get to the dock, most times we're leaving just before the sun comes up or at sunrise. Lake Ontario has some of the best sunrises and sunsets. We go out, we set up, I'll go over, show you everything we're doing. You're there to have fun. I'm not there to criticize you, yell at you. I lose fish, you're going to lose fish. It's okay. That's what you're there for. It's to have a good experience, and I try to make that experience as fun for everybody as possible. Kids especially. You know, no one wants to be said they did something wrong, or it happens. I've seen some of the best anglers lose fish, and some of the worst anglers land them. If it's meant to be landed, you're going to land it, and if it's not, you're not. You know, and that's just the way it is. So get on the boat, have a good time. There's a 6-hour charter, 8-hour charter. We clean your fish, bring you back to the dock. Yes, you can drink on my boat, but be responsible. You're there to have a good time and not to be irresponsible. Your safety is most important to me, then having a good time. So all I ask is to respect that, respect the boat, and we'll have a great time. You know, to put some fish in the cooler and make some smiles and build a friendship. A lot of my clients have now become close friends that we talk even when they're not fishing. You know, and it's a cool business to be in.
Awesome.
It really is.
There's something that we didn't get a chance to talk about that you want to throw out there?
No, I'm just thankful for all the sponsors that I have and the companies that allow me to work with them. Fish Hawk, Michigan Stinger, Fat Nancy's Tackle Shop. I'm going to Bay Rat. I'm going to miss some here. Garmin. A lot of ice fishing I do with Automatic Fisherman. There's probably some other companies that I'm forgetting. It's just, I'm thankful for everyone that works with this. There's a lot of great products out there, and I'm privileged to be able to use them, and put people's smiles on their faces. So it's great.
Awesome. Thanks, Casey.
Thank
Really
you.
appreciate it. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Talk to you next time.